Good evening and welcome to Ramsay Lane in Edinburgh. We're in Edinburgh City Centre tonight and we're going to be covering Greyfriars Bobby, Kirkyard Cemetery, South Bridge, the Vaults, and as well as Little Ghost Annie from Mary King's Close. So get settled, get your kettle on, get your sage out and let's do Edinburgh. Good evening and welcome to Edinburgh Castle in all its glory. Now in 1650 it was said that there was a caretaker at Edinburgh Castle who had heard the drums going. It was through the night he went to the main part of the castle to find out where this noise was coming from. He seen a man battering the drums very, very fast and he walked up to him, and as he got up to the back of him, the man had no head. The man ran for his life, got in touch with his manager to say, I've seen a headless man playing the drums. He was military. They sent him home because they thought he was drunk. They presumed that he was seeing things. Now, 3 weeks after that apparition, the castle was actually seized, and it was said that this headless drummer was trying to warn the castle that they were coming. As we stand at Edinburgh Castle entrance, in 1537 there was a lady who had been accused of witchcraft and also poisoning King James V. Now it was decided she would be burnt at the stake out in the car park that's behind us that you have just seen, and her little boy was made to watch. Now this happened in 1537. There's been apparitions and sightings of this lady, and that she is called the Grey Lady. So if you're ever at Edinburgh Castle and you see the Grey Lady, she is not a good ghost for the reason she is missing her son. There's a lot of trauma in round about her. We are going to do the spirit box a little bit later on. But again, this is the castle and this is Edinburgh Castle. We'll give you a little quick tour. So this is our main entrance. There's a little bit of the courtyard there. And this is a car park where the lady in 1537 was burnt at the stake for witchcraft. Now, witchcraft was a big thing in Edinburgh back then. We will take you down to the water shortly and show you what they used to do with people who would be practicing witchcraft or accused of dealing with witchcraft. Welcome to Greyfriars Kirkyard Cemetery. We are starting off with the tomb of John Bain in 1854. Now, in most of this cemetery, a lot of the graves have been guarded off due to grave robbers working here, which we're going about to come on to. But this is practicality of the first ones as you walk in at the bottom entrance. But we're going to visit the Black Mausoleum. Let's do it. Cemetery, as you know, and we're going to use the spirit box. We just bumped into two little ghosts just now there that scared the absolute shit out of us. But if anybody's give me a message. when I open the door. Can you tell me anything about poltergeist Mackenzie? Embolism? Healer? Is there anything else we need to know? You just get the right behind you. Gotta do that. They were going. They're stuck. Right, let's stop now. So this is one of the other tombs that we've just found, and we thought we were going to put the spirit box on here. And this is, I don't know if we'll be able to read it. Right, just pop it on. Spirit, if you're here, give us a sign that you're here. You see it. Stop that saying. Spirit, did you just put smoke coming up from the side of this tomb? Again. Give me another sign if you're here. Who's a good person? Pause it a minute. So they're saying whoever in here was a good person. Welcome to the part of the cemetery where poltergeist Mackenzie is known to be, which I would agree is a psychic is here. This bit is closed off due to the darkness of the witchcraft. Can we come a bit closer? The poltergeist material and the things that have happened. There were a lot of people attacked in here, but actually, as you can see, possibly this was actually prison cells, and they were waited here back in the 1600s, 1700s to wait to go for trial. That's if they made it to trial. They were very, very bad to them. It's very, very tortured souls in here. So I'm going to quickly do the spirit box to see what comes out. Pop in the comments below if you can hear anything that we don't hear. But if you're with us, give us a sign that you're here. Good. What's good, Spirit? Are you annoyed that we're here? Shows yourself if you're here. Can you make a noise if you're here? So let's head to the Black Mausoleum, guys. The Black Mausoleum. Now, what is known for the Black Mausoleum is poltergeist Mackenzie. Now, he was a Lord Advocate who died, but he was very, very bad to the people in round about him. He was part of a Protestant movement group as well. He'd made a lot of enemies. Now, this was his tomb originally, and a homeless man tried to get shelter one night, and he tried to creep in at the top part, and it fell in. And as it fell in, he fell on top of the tomb. He fell on top of the body of poltergeist Mackenzie. Now that is when the first apparition happened. But also, not only did he fall on top of poltergeist Mackenzie, but he also fell on top of a lot of plague victims. Now there's a lot of plague victims within this cemetery, but also within, oh, did you hear that? Also within the Undercity grounds as well. Let's do the spirit box and see how we get on. Welcome to the Black Mausoleum. I cannot wait to do the spirit box here. Let's do it. Spirit, if you're with us, or poltergeist Mackenzie, give us a sign you're here. What do we need to know, poltergeist Mackenzie? Can you rattle the door if we're here? Why do you scare so many people? Are you not happy? Who's Mac? Now, between Birkenhead and Poltergeist Mackenzie, there is a lot of hauntings up here and a lot of apparitions and sightings. I would definitely say this is the most haunted graveyard in Scotland, there's no doubt about it. So Birkenhead were body snatchers from the 1800s who would come and steal the bodies at night. They had, for 10 months, on a murderous spree with 16 people, women, children and men. They would also check the obligeries to see if the soil was soft, so that they could come back and steal the bodies, whether it be for the jewellery, whether it be for the organs, but mostly they would sell their bodies to Dr. Knox, who is just further over in the surgeons part over here. They would take the bodies in a barrow, roll them down the Royal Mile, and take them to the Dr. Knox, where they would receive £7 to £10 a body. Burke and Hare had wives, Margaret and Helen, and they actually helped conceal the bodies. Now, like we said, Margaret was murdered in 1828 and eventually Burke and Hare were caught. Now, the reason they were caught was they had lodgers in their house, and that night they asked their lodgers to leave, telling them that the Lady Margaret was family. So they left for the night, and when they came back the next day, one of the ladies went over to get her stockings from the bed, and she realised that there was blood clothing there that was saturated. They then contacted the local police, who then searched everywhere, and they actually found the lady and her belongings in Burke's house alongside with the wife. Now, like I said, the police, once the police caught them, they realised they'd been doing this for 10 months. They could have been doing this for longer, but they were body snatching. They were selling it to Dr. Knox. So eventually they then went to Dr. Knox, who confirmed everything as well. So they were receiving £7 to £10 for each body, and that was a lot back then. And what they would do is watch the obligeries so that the soil was soft, so it was easier for them to come and pick. And that happened in this graveyard. Now, Spirit, is there empty with us? Poltergeist Mackenzie? Can you have a look in here?
No.
Just put it on the fence. Oh, you're losing power in that. So we have just found this and it's open. So we're going to pop in here. You want to get in first, Heather? As you can see, there is no roof on it. But this is a fun place to do the spirit box. And let's see what's up here. I don't know if I can read it. We'll put the spirit box on. Right, okay, so I'll keep you here. So we are in one of the mausoleums. This one doesn't have a roof. So we'll do the spirit box in here. We're about 2 along from the black mausoleum. And our speaker's not working. Spirit, if you've got any signs, can you give me a sign if you're here? These gates are never open, which I find very strange. So this is Greyfriars Bobby. Now this was a graveyard caretaker dog, who sadly the caretaker passed away, and Edinburgh Council were left with the dog. They actually went for ownership of the dog, who then became known as Greyfriars Bobby. Now, he sadly passed away, as you can see, when he was 16 years old in 1872. And you can see people leave sticks here for him, and there's a lovely garden here as well. Also, part of this graveyard, you will see some of the tombs are covered up with grills. Now, that was down to Birkenhead, because they were body snatching so much, they decided, the rich, to put things over the top so they could preserve their jewellery, preserve their family and preserve their bodies. This is the end of Greyfriars Cemetery, Kirkton Cemetery. We are now heading over to the South Bridge and the vaults. And this is the one in the main part of Edinburgh. Now right to the Greyfriars Bobby the pub. And we have this lovely statue. And now we're heading to the undercity of the vaults at the South Bridge. So we're at the South Bridge, all right. Now, a lady passed away just before the South Bridge was opened, and it was her death wish to be the first person to cross the South Bridge when it did open. Now, that's exactly what happened, but that raised suspicions amongst the Edinburgh locals, where they then decided that there's a curse in this bridge. So some of them would take the long way round because they were too scared to go over the bridge due to the curse. Do I think as a psychic there's a curse in this bridge? 100% I do. I'm not going to do the spirit box here because it's far too noisy, but we're going to head now to the vaults, just out to Nidry Street or Nidry Road, and we'll tell you some stories and all the rooms that are in the vaults. So let's do it, and we'll do the spirit box and the Royal Mile before we finish. So the Edinburgh Vaults is an undercity. Now in the 17 and 1800s, it was used widely for storage, for shops, marketing. One of the rooms is called the Cobbler Room, and that's known as for a man who is in there that people have seen apparitions where he's been fixing his shoes. He's a very happy man. He comes across as a very good energy. Now the Cobbler Room, you'll find throughout these stories, a lot of ghosts, friendly ghosts, will go to the Cobbler Room to seek refuge from the not so good ghosts within the Edinburgh Vaults. Now, in the northwest corner of the Cobbler Room, there is said to be a lady. Now, this lady throws stones at people who come in, and it's been said that she lost her child in a traumatic way and that she is in mourning. And because she is in mourning, she then becomes a wee bit violent towards anyone who comes in, throwing stones. But this is all in the Cobbler's Room, and it's in the northwest side of the room. Also in this room, they are said to have heard a growling dog. Now, the man said that he heard it alongside another man who confirmed it and validated it, and it said that it's the caretaker's terrier dog. Now, the caretaker walks up and down and also can come into the Cobbler Room as well. So also within the vaults, there is one called the wine vaults. Now, when you go in, there's a lot of wine cellar there, there's a lot of blocks, but it's also known as the room where the little boy Jack lives. Now, Jack is a type of spirit that they say that has lost his family. He's a very nervous spirit and he's terrified of the Watcher. He goes to the Cobbler's Room a lot of the time when he's apparently scared of the Watcher, but he tries to connect with females by grabbing their hands, tugging at them, but effectively he will always be drawn to females. Now, again, it's a room that I have been in and I can vouch for this. I do very much think this little boy is real, but I feel he spends more time in the Cobbler Room than he does in the wine room. And I do feel he's lost his mum, but I feel he lost his mum to tuberculosis, possibly not the plague. I connected him around that as well. In the 1600s, 1700s, as you can see all these tenements, a lot of families were crushed into them, but also they didn't have toilets back then as well. So if you look up here, you would see all these big windows. And what would happen was, is someone would be bringing out their bucket of toilet, they would look out the window and they would shout, "Gardez-loo!" And that basically meant that they were going to throw their toilet down. It would come all the way down here, head straight down into the water down at the bottom there. There is also a spirit known as Mr. Boots. Now, Jack, the children's spirit, is also pretty scared of him as well. He will walk up and down, and he is a poltergeist that is known for scratching, leaving 3 scratches, leaving bruising, and a lot of people who have seen him have then not felt anything at the time, but later came out of their tour or been within the vaults, and then they've come out with some sort of injury afterwards. Mr. Boots is very well known within the vaults, and it's probably one of the most historical stories within the vaults. Now, the vaults did shut down and didn't open back up to the 1900s, 1985, and even to this day, a lot of these flats and things that you see here are connected in round the vaults, where when they start taking their walls down, they then find parts to come back into the vaults. So although these houses are all boarded up, back then it's only cupboards that are boarded these up to take you away from the vault. So as soon as they start chipping through, to live here, I can imagine it's very, very haunted. So let's do the spirit box and see if anything comes out along the signs of Gardez-loo or any of the residents that used to live here. Spirit, show me if you are here or give me any signs that you're here. Macbeth. Who is that to you? Why are you giving me that name? Who do you connect with? Soup. Do you wear the suit? Can you show yourself on the stairs? Can you put it on the stairs? It won't let me. Why won't it let you? Show yourself in the stairs if you're here. So in the Nidge Street vaults, there is a long, long corridor where rooms are seen to be going off. Now, in that corridor, there is a ghost known as the Watcher. Now, he's a long blue coat and he's said to be heard and seen walking up and down. He is known for his apparitions to be staring at people, standing up behind people, and also could be scratching people as well. Speaking from experience, they've been in the vaults. Now, the reason we've not done it in the vaults is we struggle for reception down there. But speaking from experience, you've been in there before, I can highly say the Watcher is very much a real poltergeist and very much real. And a lot of the apparitions that people have said, I felt myself when I went down there. The spirit box doesn't also work down there, but they also do witchcraft down the vaults as well, which I can imagine is going to bring a lot of energy, which is not always good energy. And this is St Giles Cathedral. And we have the City Chamber straight ahead, which is very haunted. A lot of hangings that took place there. I did a case at the start of the week, and the man was murdered for murdering his lawyer, and he was hung out here and left here for 3 days. His body was found a lot of years later, and he was called Johnny One Arm. So if you've not seen it, check our previous story. And this is the Royal Mile. So Mary King's Close, all right. In Mary King's Close, there is a ghost called Annie. So what we'll do is we'll walk through here into the City Chamber so we can tell you the story. So in this close, and Japanese psychic came here a lot of years ago, and she said that there's a little girl here, her name was Annie, and she was looking for a doll. She decided to go out and buy the little girl a Barbie doll, which she did. And since then, a lot of other people have bought a lot of different dolls to Annie to give her the doll. Now, sadly, the original doll that was gifted to Annie was actually stolen, where they put out an appeal in the hope that they would bring it back. I truly believe the person that's got that doll would probably have a lot of bad luck, because doing something like that, I can't imagine would be good. But I also do think Mary King's Close is very haunted with two men as well. Also, they had the Craig family there, which was a family who had basically the plague, and they all passed away. Now, obviously, they had the plague doctor as well. Now, the first plague doctor died. The second plague doctor came in with a rubbery suit, and he basically thought he was fighting against evil spirits. So he had this suit on, he had his nose covered, it was like a soft leather, and he didn't get the plague, he helped with the plague, but he was convinced it was due to this outfit because he was fighting against the spirits, which they thought the plague was to do with bad spirit and things like that. What they didn't realise back then was it was actually germs that were fighting. They didn't understand what germs were, and the suit protected them from that. If they had known what we know now, the plague would never have took over the way that it did. And sadly, when the plague did take over, they put them all under the Undercity, where they were left to rot and pass away, children, women, families, anyone who was poor. Very, very sad story. I love Edinburgh history personally. I love the Burke and Hare. I love the Greyfriars Bobby. I also love poltergeist mckenzie stories. Anything at all to do with history. Thank you again, everyone, for joining us tonight. We'll just take a quick look at the City Chambers before we leave, where it's really quiet and peaceful. But again, this is in a courtyard where a lot would have happened in it. Now, at the City Chambers here tonight, I would say this is the most haunted part of Edinburgh due to everything that happened within this courtyard, right across to St Giles, between people getting hanged, burnt at the stake. All this happened here. So what I'm going to do just to finish this off for tonight, we're going to do the spirit box here for the last time, and let's do it and comment below what you hear. Spirit, can you give us any indication to who haunts this courtyard? The tortured souls that are here, do they have anything to do with Burke and Hare or anyone else that we have spoke about this evening?
Get in.
Get in. Can you tell me the spirits that are here with us right now or have been with us tonight? Please comment below if you can hear, because it's quite hard to hear out tonight, but when we edit the video we'll look back. Right guys, I just want to say thank you so much for watching. Remember, like, comment and subscribe. Happy Halloween. We're going to be putting some tasters out for this video, but this video should be out probably around before Halloween. So thank you again. Stay safe, take care.